It just be doing what
Oh,
it.
get ready, get ready, get ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, coming at you live once more again. Also, what I need for you to do, sit back, relax, put on your headgear. Oh, my worthless 2 cents is about to put something in your ear.
Oh, and here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, coming at you live once more again with another episode. With another episode. With another episode. Of Table Talk with the Louisiana Country Boy. And tonight, it is my honor, it is my privilege, and it is indeed an old country pleasure to welcome part of my TikTok family, my new TikTok family over here. I'm welcoming this wonderful young lady aboard tonight. She's I ain't gonna say what she is because y'all know I can't introduce nobody because I'll be the chopped it all up. But she is a spectacular woman, a woman with a vision, a woman with a purpose, who is walking in it, doing wonderful, wonderful, dynamic things. And it is, I'm tickled maroon. I'm tickled maroon. I am tickled maroon to have her on tonight. I am tickled maroon. So man, what I need for y'all to do is get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready for the one. And I'm gonna let her come in her own way. I'm gonna let her bring it how she bring it, whatever she wants to do. So I need for y'all to just get ready, get ready, get ready. Oh, look at here. Sit back, relax, put on your head gear. Oh, Coach now, all the way from the strip. Put something in their ear. Welcome, 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 Coach. Welcome.
Well, I thank you for inviting me. I thank you. I am so grateful that you chose me to come on your platform and have a conversation with. So it's a blessing. And for the listeners, I am Coach Nye. I am a life coach. I am a mentor. I am an author. I am a spiritual guide, and I help assist. My thing is to help others stay in alignment, understand what their purpose is, understanding what self-love is, how to love their self, empower them to become the best version of themselves. And that all stemmed from me being a personal trainer. In my years of personal training, I realized it's more to just the physical. And so I came up with the concept of trinity of fitness, which is the spiritual, mental, and the physical. So learning how to balance all those things to become the best version of yourself. That is who Coach Nye is.
I love that. You know what? I'm gonna tell you, you must have been peeping around in my brain some years back, Coach. When I say that because I had a good friend of mine who was into working out. Old country boy don't do this. The only working out I do right here. Okay, this the only working out I do. But I had a good friend who's into working out aspect of it. My daughter is into like doing massages and all of that, and she's into that. And I was like, man, it would be great for us to team up to take care of the three parts. Now I don't know how much of the mental I could take care of, but I mean, but mine would be the mental and the spiritual aspect of it, and they would work on the body and the So yeah, that is the Trinity. I like that. That is really really good. Um, how long have you been in this thing?
So I got into the fitness part years ago. When I first joined the military, of course, we do physical training. So physical fitness, that's our thing. But when I got out back in 2012, I decided I wanted to change something about me. I've always been a firm believer. If you don't like something about yourself, then fix it, change it. So that's what I chose to do. And I wanted to get into fitness. It just started off with me trying to do better, me trying to build the muscle so I can have the confidence, because I felt I was really, really small, and I thought me getting into physical fitness, it would give me the confidence that I needed, not knowing the confidence was already in me, because I am a leader. It's just that going through certain situations in life, it makes you shrink yourself, and so once I realized that this is something I like, I love to help people, I immediately started doing it for free, helping others. And it started off with just helping women, regain that confidence, teaching them how to work out, and then I got really serious. And once you get into physical training and you become a personal trainer, the 101 rule is, and a lot of personal trainers don't like folks to let that secret out, but it is 101. You only train that person until they learn how to do it themselves. But what I noticed is a lot of women, a lot of the reason why they were coming in the gym, because there was infidelity in their relationships or, marriage, and they were trying to get themselves back because they had babies and they had all these different things that happened to them in life. And they actually needed someone like a counselor. They took personal training like a therapy. So that's why I got into the life coaching, so I can make sure that I give the proper responses to the things that, they require. And so that's how it started way back then.
Wow. So, and we're just sitting here talking. So walk us through Coach Nye, whatever it is that Coach Nye wants to walk us through. I say that this is in my disclaimer for the platform, which is not my platform, it's God's platform. This is a place for open honesty and transparency. This is a place where we just come and talk. This is a place where we just come and we share. And I do say this on a business aspect, and I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter the product you may be selling. It doesn't matter what it is you may be doing. If people cannot resonate with you, whatever you're doing does not matter. If they can't make a connection with you, the human aspect of it. Sometimes we get to a point that we forget to share our testimony. Sometimes we get to a point where we think that, and you and I talk about it, and we've talked about this, is that this is a healing journey. And like the women that you say come in, they're on a healing journey. At some point, I speak for myself, I can't speak for nobody else, I have lost myself in something or in someone, trying to live up to the expectations of somebody else, but never, ever understanding that I had to first live up to the expectations of what God had for me and the expectations placed on me, not what others place. So that's my journey. So, but that's country journey. Okay, I'm just
And you talk about the testimonies, and that is so important. And I think having a platform, that's the most important part. So you can come on this platform and do all the nonsense and the trending and things that's trending right now, and you're not getting fed from it. You know what I mean? So when you come on and use this platform by standing in your purpose, by operating in your purpose, it can help others. It can move others, because that's what your testimony is for. A lot of us go through things in life and we keep it to ourselves because we don't understand the power behind a testimony. So for me, I was just a typical, coming from Gary, Indiana, a little small town, my family. I was a tomboy. Oh my goodness. Tomboy.
No.
I was my daddy's girl, And so I did a lot of things that, even looking back on it, I wouldn't change. And the reason why, everything that happened to me in my past made me who I am today.
Yes.
I am not perfect, but however, God allowed me to go through those things. So now in this moment, regardless, I am a testimony. I am a testimony for the ones that, okay, I don't have much. How can I get up here? I don't have a college degree. How do I get up here? I didn't finish high school. How do I get up here? I had these different things. I had divorces. How do I bounce back? How can I do these things as a single woman or a single mother? And I am the testimony for you to see that it can be done. You just have to know how to do it. And how to do it is understanding you going within and finding your purpose that's within. And that's why it's so important when I come on these platforms to have those conversations. Those conversations are so important.
Yes.
You know,
I totally agree. I agree with everything. That is what I stand on. Some things I often say is we often want others to understand us. But how can others understand us when we don't understand ourselves?
and that's the key. So let's take any relationship, friendship, I call them ships. Any ships that you have in your life, even with self, right? So, in order for you to become the best version of you, like you said, you have to understand yourself. But how do you get to the point of understanding yourself? When you were raised to doubt yourself, when you were raised to be disrespected, to take disrespect, when you were raised to know that this is all I am, I'm nothing more than this, when you were raised to just look at the what is, and in the moment, it's nothing outside of this that you can step out of. How do you really go within when you're going to have people that's supposed to love you the most that's going to call you crazy because you don't think like them? How do you really get to the point of understanding yourself when you've been going to this house of worship all these years and you never got anything out of it? Your soul has never been really fed. It's been fed with the religion part of it, meaning their values, man-made, what we've been doing for years. This is just how it is, which means that you're stuck and you're bound to the generational curses. How do you go within and find yourself? And those were things that when I got ready to write this book, when God had me write this book, I'm gonna show it off now.
Show it off, girl.
God
Show it
had me write
off.
this book. Those were the things that I was tested to do, was go within. I didn't understand that's what I was doing, but I had to understand what it really meant when they say go within. All the answers are within you. Well, how do I get within me? Because I'm tired of looking for answers, you know? So, and that's what was so important, is finding that. And as a life coach now, that's what I make sure that I teach, how to really do that, how to identify the real you, not the person that they created and told you were.
Yes. 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 I'm gonna say yes about 5 more times. Yes. 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 Is that I found myself living somebody else's idea of me. I found myself living somebody else's expectations of me. I found myself doing and being what somebody else wanted me to be. And for me, it got to the point where I could no longer do it, because it became this thing where I got farther away from who I was, trying to reach a place that wasn't even for me. And
I'm sorry, I didn't know I still had something in the background. It was one of my clips. I'm like, I hear my voice. I mean, I am going.
But that is so true, is that we spend so much time trying to please, and I say that, pleasing others and doing these things for others, when we are lacking ourselves.
Yep.
I discovered something about me. And this is what I discovered on my ride today. Thank the Lord. About me is that we all have an addiction. Folks might be like, because sometimes we call it and we look at it in the negative and want to call it drug addiction, or we want to call it alcohol addiction. But some people are workaholics. Some people are relationshipaholic. That was me. I was a relationshipaholic. Some people are schoolaholics. Some people are addicted to money. Some people are addicted to cars. And the addictions I discovered are only the exterior things that we're trying to grasp and hold on to so we don't have to deal with the interior emptiness.
And so let's look at that. Now we have all these things that we put before our purpose.
Mm.
And you know how God say, an idol, these things that you put before him. When you put these things before your purpose, that's the same as putting it before God. So
Yes.
God, everything I do is for his glory. So therefore, if I have this, I just want to study all day. Well, what time am I giving God so he can teach me some things? See, a lot of people get in their Bible, they get bored, they get tired. I'm one of those ones sometimes that I'm just like, you know what? I don't know what I just read. And I'm being very honest. And that happens because it's not the fact that we're trying to find out, we're trying to download this information and we're trying to process it the way that our minds can process it. But anything that's from God cannot be processed, it's not understood at our level. He has to open your vision up so you can understand it on his level. So what you're reading, trust me, you're getting the pieces out of it. You don't know that you're getting the pieces. And then when that time comes, you're just going to flow. It's just going to flow out your mouth. It's just going to be flowing, just words flowing. And you're going to like, oh, well, I didn't even know I remembered that, because your time hasn't come.
Mm.
So when you put those things before him or before your purpose, it'll send you in when they were in the wilderness, just going around in a circle, and you find yourself on a hamster wheel, just going. And you're trying to find out, how do I get off this hamster wheel? Well, you can't until you pick a side.
Mm.
And you have to always choose self. You have to choose self. God is within us. Choose self. When you choose self out of every situation, you're not going to be able to do anything but to go inward and search for God.
Yes. Love it. That is so it. Man. And on this journey, for me, I tell you, there are some days when it's tougher than other days.
Mm-hmm.
But in all of that, for me, the purpose and the vision is greater than the pain. There is purpose in the pain. There's lesson in the pain. Everything that and I this is my new thing that I'm saying now. Everything that we go through, these lessons, life will teach us lessons.
Mm-hmm.
But here's that, let me use a big word, coach. Here's that caveat. Is this: life will teach us, but if we don't apply what life has taught us, we've yet to learn.
Right. In those moments of when you're going through, and it's you said the how did you say it? The is greater than the pain.
The purpose.
So it's greater than the pain, and that the end goal is greater than the pain. But when you in the pain and going through it,
Come
it's
on.
like, oh, who gonna help me? Listen, as I talk about, we look for the physical because we know it becomes a cliche. Like when they say, go lean on God, God's there. Okay, I got that. But right now, I need something in the physical. I need to see it. So what I learned is instead of looking for something in the physical, because it never happened. He never allowed the physical person to show up in the need because he didn't want me to become codependent because he knows God. He didn't want me to get so codependent on him. And in this moment, because he knows his daughter, I'm weak. I may shake. My mind may change. I may go left when I should be going right. So he never bring me anyone in the moment. But what I learned is, okay, God, what is it that you're trying to do? What is it that you want me to build in this situation right now? Because I don't like this situation. I don't like this feeling that I'm in right now. I don't understand this feeling that I am in right now. I do not know what's happening, but please just tell me what it is that I'm supposed to be building in this moment. So at least I can take my mind and focus on building that, and I can't focus on the pain. So I got to that point of, okay, God, let's have a conversation. This is how I'm feeling. I need you to help me out. And then you have to learn also, it is everything that I'm going through has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do about me. Everything that happens in my life is all about his glory. It has nothing to do with me. I don't care if I'm going through all this and my job is to make you, Louisiana Country Boy, a millionaire. I can't sit back and say, well, God, what about me?
Come on now.
My mission is to do what he told me, and doing that is getting you to the next step to get your $1 million. I'm going to be okay. My $1 million, my gifts, my blessing is way more than that $1 million.
Come on.
Mine is going to be forever and ever. See, my job was to get you to your $1 million. It's up to you to make it invest and keep going.
Amen.
So when you're standing in your purpose and you're doing what God tells you to do, your blessings are everlasting. Even when you don't deserve it, even when you're messing up, even when you fall off track, I seem to always continue to get my blessings, because even in the mix when I'm doing whatever I want to do, and I'm just like, I am done with this. I'm sick of people. I don't want nothing to do with them. I'm still getting my blessings. And then I have to say, okay, God, my bad. I know I shouldn't have done that, because you still love me despite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is so on point. It is that I've learned, Coach, it's so much bigger than me.
Yeah.
It is so much bigger than me. And you're right. I know the things that I have gone through, his grace and his mercy allowed it. I know that God does two things for me. I can't talk about nobody else. For me, Country Boy, he does two things. He either ordains it or he allows it. Whatever it is, he either ordains it or he allows it. But even in either one, he already said to me, he said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. So if he ordained it, he with me. If he allowed it, he with me. So he ain't gonna never leave me or forsake me in either one. So why could I not trust it? Why could I not be able to? A lot of people talk about it, but how many people actually live it? And I'm talking about the life. I'm talking about how you carry yourself. When you carry yourself and how you carry yourself, some people feel like, oh, I carry myself out in public, but when I'm behind closed doors, I can yell and scream all I want to and curse and whatever. But it is how we carry ourselves when we think folks ain't watching. It is because here's the thing. When we think people ain't watching, God's always watching. We spend so much time My God. All right. And I know we floating around here, Coach. I'm sorry. Look,
No.
you got to go fishing and pull me back in because I get out there in the middle
Go
of the
down
pond.
that rabbit hole. Look, I let the spirit just guide the conversation, just go, because you never know. With the listeners that's listening in, we have so many different problems,
Yes.
that people may have, different personalities, different scenarios and situations. So that's why conversation is supposed to flow, because you're about to hit a topic for somebody.
And I was going to say that sometimes why is it we sit here and we dress up and we do all these things to pretend for folks. We pretend for the world, this, that, and the other. But God is always watching us. He is always, and we sit here and we pretend to be this and we want to show for the world. Let me tell you, here's what I know. The pain that I go through, there's many in the world that go through it. The hills that I've climbed, they may not be the same hills, but there are some similar hills that other folks are climbing. But we're sitting up here and we pretend and we act like there is nothing. We act like we don't. We act like we don't need each other. We don't have to encourage nobody. We shouldn't have to uplift anybody. We act like the world owes us something. And when you should treat me a certain kind of way because I have this. Let me tell you something. Naked I came into this world, and naked I shall leave. When we cannot get to the point of understanding what you say so well, and you and I both talk about it, if you can't get to the point of understanding what has been placed inside of you, what has been placed inside of you, there is greatness. There is greatness, not just in one, there's greatness in everyone. There is purpose has been placed. There's not purpose in one, there's purpose in everyone. But it takes being a chef. And what do I mean by being a chef? In order to get to that thing, sometimes you got to go in the kitchen and you got to go in there and you got to get that onion. And that onion is the stuff that's been laid on top, and you got to start peeling it back. And sometimes, just like when you're peeling that onion, there are going to be some things that make you cry.
Yeah.
But in order to get to the core, you got to peel some of that stuff off.
And so you said a couple of things, like just starting off with that, with the peeling the onion, and that's that self-healing. And that's that healing that you have to do. But sometimes you have to have actual counseling. You have to have actual therapy, because the trauma that lies within that we just suppress, we pack way back, because once you start unpeeling, now you get this other type of feeling, and you don't know what these feelings are. That's why you packed it up. See, when you were young, when you were a child, when you were a baby, when you were young, things happened to you. You didn't know anything but love. You didn't know anything about people mistreating you. You just took those bad things and you packed it up in your suitcase.
Come
And
on
then
now.
that suitcase went into, your adolescence. And then some other stuff happened and you packed that stuff up in your suitcase. And then it went into your teenage years. And you packed that stuff up because you're trying to figure all these things out, because you don't have the mental and to understand that what happened. You need to process that, not pack it up. Now you're in your young adult age and you got a luggage, right? I'm sorry, you got a couple of luggages, right? And now you're at the age that I want to be in a relationship. I want to be married. I want to have kids because I need to find that love. I need this marriage because it's going to give me what I need. Now you get married. Now you have this baby. You have all these things. And then the woman, I can speak as a woman, right? Because I'm telling my story. Now I'm sitting and I'm still not happy. I
Mm.
keep trying to find joy because no one ever told me that joy and happiness don't, it's not like the cartoons.
Come on.
You don't wake up every day and just feel, like Alice in Wonderland. No, but I'm looking for that. So now I have this marriage and I'm not being fulfilled with things that I need. Okay, now I have this kid and it's like, okay, little baby, you make me happy because I love you, but I'm still missing something that you can't give me, but I can give you all my love. Now I'm about to suffocate you with all this love, trying to make you be the person I need you to be so you can be a stand-up person in society and you won't go around messing and hurting other people's daughters. But as I go on, now I got duffel bags. And I got duffel bags. And this is what happened because we keep packing because no one, and it's back in, I'm gonna say I'm an 80s baby, so I'm 81. So, and before that, it wasn't one of those things that the parents talk to their children. Hey, what's wrong with you? Hey, what's going on? Or hey, I know you've seen your father, knock my head between the washer and the dryer. I know you've seen these things. But I'm not going to have a conversation because this is the things that happen. I don't need to explain to you that this ain't right because this is what happens because they watched it generational. So all that, and they don't know how to heal. So then what happens when you said they're trying to be someone that they're not? They become their synthetic self. The synthetic self shows up because the authentic self is so hurt and so damaged and don't even know how to unpack the bag that they got. So what they do is make up the synthetic self and they stand in that and they're still not happy, but they find things and vices to make them happy. They find the vices to make them look good, feel better. But when the lights are off, doors closed, lights off, wigs off, everything off, I'm stuck with the authentic me and I don't like her.
Come on.
I don't like her because I was taught not to like her. I wasn't taught to love her. And then I can't go to, remember the free counseling, go to church, go to the house of worship. I try not to mix up the church and the house of worship because we're the church, but go to the house of worship. They'll help you because that's supposed to be free love right there. But now I'm being judged. I feel even worse because now you're going to make me tell my story and your facial expression may not match what I'm feeling and it may put me in defense mode. So now I'm stuck until Coach Knott show up. Boom, here she is to help you unravel that. And people like you to help look at it from a different space. So you having this platform and you have different people come on or just you by yourself. When you have a conversation, it's touching someone. It's needed to get them that jump start that they need, to change, to be able to stand in their authentic self.
And and like I say, Coach, for me, it's not about talking about anyone else, just like yourself. I can only tell my story. I refuse to try to tell somebody else's. I can only tell the things, but it takes finally reaching that point to understanding what you said, like everything has a purpose. You had to go through some things. You go through some things. We all go through some things. The things that I know, there was a lot of things that were happened to a lot of people and myself that were not our fault. And that's the one thing is I've learned that it took me the longest to stop thinking this was my fault or that was my fault. This was my fault. Those things were not my fault. However, accountability and responsibility is that to get and start the healing process is my responsibility. The things that happen, not my fault. But me, that person that was driving down the road and hit me while I was walking, That wasn't my fault. I can't say, well, if I've been standing over there, but for me to get to the hospital is my responsibility. Okay. For me to get some help is my responsibility. Now, what happened, that ain't my fault. And it's taking that. I'm so we must learn. I had to learn this, is that my actions, when I say these are my actions, that right there says you are taking accountability and responsibility for the choices and the actions. That also says when the consequences come, and listen, here you go. Maybe people don't understand this. Consequences will come regardless of whichever action or choice you make, good or bad, will be followed by a set of consequences.
Yes.
And you got to stand 10 toes down and be like, I made the choice and I accept the consequences. That is accountability and responsibility. So many people avoid that thing. And again, that comes from what you were talking about, the unpacking. That comes from all them suitcases. That comes from that as starting off as little in adolescence and infants and then growing up into the teens and then to the 20s and 30s. And Lord, coach, it was in the 50s for me. I'm just telling you right now, it was in the 50s. And I understand this about me. I dug such a deep hole that it took a long time for me just to get back to ground level, because I had dug. I was like a mole. I was steady digging down. And when you dig down, you have to remember when you want to come up, it's a lot of work just to get back to level ground. I ain't talking about moving ahead, baby. I'm talking about just getting back to level ground.
Yeah.
It requires a lot.
It does. And in those times when you're trying to get back up, you're always by yourself. It's and I learned that it's not that God is punishing us. It's more so he needs you to understand you do not need man at all. You need me. If you focus on me, I'll float you out of that spot. I'll carry you the way. But I need you to understand that I am, you know? And so when you said with the guilt and shame, that's another thing that the enemy, and this is all of everything we're talking about is so good because it all ties into self-love. That is what I love to teach. That's what I promote, right? Healing and self-love, because that's part of it. And the best thing that you ever could have done was heal from it and identify what is your fault in all of this situation. It's not your fault you got hit, but what could you do to make sure that you become better in this situation?
Yes.
You know, those type of things, because what the enemy do is put guilt on us. And as I talk about always, those attachments, right? How things just attach themselves to you. So since you didn't unpack it, now these bags are with you forever. You know, no matter where you go, you got these bags. It doesn't matter if you move in a new home, you got these old things because you don't know how to declutter. And so all these attachments are on you. That one attachment may be because of this mug here. This mug reminds me of a trigger that I had because someone that gave it to me that mistreated me. Boom, I got this, and now I got it in my new home, in my new space. And people think, well, I'm not getting rid of any of my things because I need these things because these things mean something to me. But they're also the things that's keeping you captive, keeping you a prisoner in your mind and in your flesh. So yes, it's so important to get to the point of, because even with me now, I went and I got rid of some things that I had since my very first apartment.
Wow.
Yeah. And so my son, he wasn't even born yet. My oldest, he's 17. And I got to looking at it. I said, just because I have it and had it that long, because that's how I looked at things like, well, I had this that long. And, but I have to remember everywhere that thing went with me, it was attached to the place and to people and to things that hurt me, triggered me. So, gotta go. This weekend, I got rid of a lot of stuff. Gotta go. Because it's time. You cannot go into your harvest season with old crop.
Wow.
You cannot go and, pick the flowers that you planted last year, and it's time for them to blossom and they got weeds all over. You can't grow roses good unless you go out there and it was right at the tip of my tongue, but you have to go out there and prune them so that they can grow back bigger and stronger. You can't do these things if you don't know how to prune your mind, prune your surroundings. Everybody is not supposed to be attached to you. So even though it's guilt and shame, but guilt and shame, look at it as a person. It's stuck with you. It goes to bed with you. It wakes up with you. When you happy, it shows up. It's your number one hater. And when you're super happy and you got something you should be congratulating and being celebrated, guess who shows up? Shame, guilt, bring all that down. Depression, anxiety, all that. They just show up like, yeah, we about to run this party down. Yep, ain't no party going on without me. Yeah, I'm here.
Amen. Oh my goodness. I got to grab a word you just said because it is. I heard it today when you talked about attachments. Here was the thing. Sometimes we allow our attachments to derail us from our assignment.
Yes.
Sometimes we won't go towards our assignment because of our attachments. Well, whether that attachment is, that you said, things or people, God has given us an assignment. But just like Abraham, he was attached to Lot.
Oh, yes, he was. He loved him.
He was attached to him.
Yeah.
He was attached to Lot. God gave him an assignment. So many of us, he has given us each an assignment, but we refuse to go on the assignment without the attachment. An attachment is like an anchor. You're dragging it along somewhere it ain't, and all it's doing is holding. I'm not saying you won't get there, but look at the struggle it's going to take to pull something else along.
Yes. And then you find yourself in the wilderness because you're not going to get to the glory because God said that attachment can't come.
Can't come.
And that attachment, if you look at it, let's look at attachments as your flesh. Anytime you operating out of your flesh, nothing works out. When you operating out of your flesh, that's when your homeboy guilt and shame show up. Your homegirl depression and anxiety shows up.
Come on.
All these things, vices and different things shows up when you're in your flesh. See, the thing is, when you're operating in your spirit and your flesh can't coexist with each other because one, even though this is your vessel, but your spirit is what sits within. So your spirit, if you operating out of your purpose, that's what you operating out of. Now, things may come. Things may shake up a little bit, but you have to know and use that discernment to say, okay, that's not right. And, I talk about when, the times that I would go to house of worship on Sunday and I leave out of there feeling good. And I'm like, yes, I am ready. I'm ready. And I run out of there and I'm so excited. I'm telling everybody I had a great time at church. I did this. The pastor, it was so exciting. And they said, well, what did he talk about? What did he talk about? Wait a minute. Now I feel like a fool because here it is. They talking about me like, now here it is. She went to church, but she can't tell me what happened. Well, no, I can't tell you what happened because he fed my flesh.
Come on.
He didn't feed my spirit, because if he would have fed my spirit would have showed up first. When I picked up that phone and dialed, my spirit would have told me who to call. I ain't just gonna call anybody. My spirit would have had me call the person that it needs to talk to, right? And that person would have been like, oh, what happened? I'm going through this, and everything that was in my spirit that was taught to me, I'm gonna be able to tell that person, and there's a testimony. Now I just gave her a glimpse of hope. And guess what she's gonna say? Oh, well, you go every Sunday? Well, I'll go with you next time. Because now she needs something. And I just fed her because they fed my spirit. But when they feed my flesh, that's when you get the hooping, hollering, having a good time, want to run around, do the running man in the church, go back and forth, get out of there, go straight to the buffet, get fed real good, and go home. You want to take a nap because you feeling real good. You got your Bible. You like, I'm about to get off into it, and you ain't never open your Bible because you don't remember nothing that was talked about at church. You don't remember nothing, but you went and got your Bible because all you know is that you were in the house of the worship. You was in the house of worship. And there was, not all people that sit in the pulpit are the men of God. But what you seen was, okay, that's the closest thing to God that I seen. And he told me this. I don't remember what he told me, but I feel so good. I feel strong. And in the next 10 minutes, when I wake up in the morning, guess who wakes me up? Guilt, shame, and the depression, anxiety. Hey, girl, come on. Hey, boo, come on. It's time to work. You got that coffee going? You got all this going. You know what? Don't even call your counselor. Go. Matter of fact, you take the meds. I don't know what needs to happen, but hey, we on one today. We want to have a good time today because you ignored us a little bit yesterday. And that's what happened.
I'm laughing, Coach. You know why I'm laughing? Because you go. What you just said. Look, on Country Boy. Hey. Look here, this is gonna come out Country Boy mouth. Don't y'all be mad at Coach now. And Coach now ain't got nothing to do with this Country Boy. Because all them folks that go up in there, and you so right. They ain't heard a word. They ain't heard a word that was said. Now, and at the end, what they did here, you know what they heard at the end? And they jumped around and they spin around, but they couldn't tell you what the text was. They couldn't tell you they can't tell you nothing about nothing else, but they heard all the stuff. They listened to the music and they heard, but they never got fed.
And the thing too is because the pastors want to be liked so bad now in this age, in this generation, because if they say the wrong thing, people may not come and bring the tithes or the offering, or I might not have my numbers up good enough, so when I resubmit for this nonprofit grant, then I need this. And so what happens is he become like them. Now he's not speaking, you being a vessel, he's speaking from his flesh, his own understanding, because he wants to be liked. And if the younger generation, I don't know what it is. When we get older, we want the younger generation, we want to be relatable to the younger generation. But what we need to do is, you have to be relatable. Be who you are, right? Continue to stand and be who you are, because what the younger generation is doing is most of them looking for a mommy, most of them looking for an auntie, an uncle, a father figure. They're looking for these things, not that it's going to make you feel old. These are the things of this. You have to meet them where they are. That does not mean for me to get down on a level and go out there and stand on the block with them. I did that already.
Come on.
I can tell you my testimony. I jumped off the porch early. Now I'm being very transparent. I'm always transparent. Who I am today is not who I was back then. I was the one going back and forth, in trouble, fighting, doing everything else. That was me. But I had to learn the hard way. And I had to come to terms that, okay, God still has my back. He always gave me favor. However, I understood that this is going to be my testimony at one point in my life because I couldn't talk about it for so long because of the careers and different things that I had. So now when meeting them where they are, I'm not going down there on the block with you. I've been there. I'm an OG. Let's look at it that way. I'm going to bring you up here with me because what's in me is going to gravitate you to me. It's going to bring you to me. And when you come to me, this is when I can keep it a buck with you. This is when I can talk to you. This is as woman to young lady or woman to woman, whichever one you want to be, little girl. At the end of the day, I'm probably older than you, but whatever it is, I'm going to meet you with that respect. And we're going to have that conversation. I'm not going to make you feel like, oh, well, something's wrong with you, or you're dirty, or, you're this way because you have a couple of boyfriends. I had a couple of boyfriends. These are the things that I need to make sure that I'm having those conversations so she understands what she's doing. It can be fixed because I am a standing testimony for that. And that's the most important part when it comes to our youth and knowing who we are. So that pastor that wants to be relatable, okay, that's cool, but you missing the point. You missed the mark. In that moment, God gave you the biggest assignment ever. It was two people in that house that needed to be delivered. In that house, you had one job, and you chose to feed the flesh and not the spirit. Amen. Listen, I'll be done took over and start have a whole sermon up in here.
Hey,
so,
man.
Let me reel it in.
No, ma'am. That's what. Again, this is what God has done, and as you said, the Spirit leads this. This ain't country boy led. This is just Spirit led. And so how it comes, it comes. I'm not looking for the approval of what people may think or how people may feel. That's not what this is about. This is about doing what God has. This is about the assignment, not the attachment. This is about the assignment, not the attachment. Yes. I've been on the other side. I'm not going to sit here and say I've been on the other side. But one thing I know is grace and mercy and wisdom has brought me thus far. And I won't leave that. We are at the top of the hour, Coach. I want something of you. I want you to share one, where people can find you, where people can follow you, where people can buy your book, where people can come work out with you. Country Boy ain't come and work out. I'm telling you right now. I'm just, Hey, but look, Coach, I support you.
Yeah.
I support you. And I watched the video, but I ain't finna do. I seen you put them rubber band things on. I ain't doing it. I seen you do them. Look, I ain't doing none of that neither. But I'm the number one supporter.
But the thing is, with the rubber band thing, that's me teaching women how to build those glutes, because what happens is we go in the gym, and I just want to put this out there for the women that's listening. They go in the gym and they do 1,000,000 squats. They go in the gym and they do what they see on, but that's not what's important. What's important to build a shelf, to build that body that they're looking for, is they have to do glute activations. I'm giving y'all a gym right now. So if y'all want to know more about it, I need you guys you can email me at bodybynifitness@gmail.com. Or you can go on my TikTok. It's Coach Nye. I have a Facebook and I have an Instagram. It's all Coach Nye. And, I have the Body by Nye Fitness. So if you look for me that way as well. My book, Trinity Walk to Self-Love, that was created because of the Trinity of fitness, the spiritual, mental, and the physical. You can get this on Amazon. You can get the hard copy on Amazon. You can get the paperback on Amazon as well. And you can get all these things on the different websites. You have Barnes and Nobles, you have Walmart, and different places. It's actually overseas as well. So that's what I have.
Oh, good.
And also,
I'll give you the big screen. Go ahead. Look, I'm gonna give you the whole big.
I thought I lost you. That's why I was like,
put your book. Look, I'll put you on the big screen. Go ahead. You can put your book back up there. Watch.
Hey, that is the book. So listen, also you can go to knifefitnessllc.com to my website, and there is where you can purchase your t-shirts, your calendar, a workout program. You can schedule a life coaching session or a consultation. Consultations are free, so you can schedule that, and we can figure out what it is that can help you. And if it can't help you, then I can recommend you to someone that can. Okay. One more thing, we're doing a book club, so get your book. The book club is going to be free, and we're going to discuss and go over different things to help you on your self-love journey, to prompt and jump you into your healing process. Okay. That is what Coach and I offers.
Oh, I'm back.
I really appreciate you for having me on.
Hey, I appreciate you. I thank you so much for everything that you're doing, Coach. Thank you for accepting the invitation to come join. There is something that I do. There's one more thing other than you telling wonderful folks about yourself and all your businesses. There's one thing. As we sit here and talk, I started this a while back because I had to do it for myself. So I do it for each and every person that comes on. There's only one question. Everything else is just free. Okay. But it's just free conversation. There's one question, because I don't do question and answers. There's only one question that I have for each one of my guests, and I will pose the question to you tonight. It is very simple. It is very simple. And I'm going to put you back on the big screen as soon as I ask you the question. And that question is, and a lot of it you explained it, but now you can put it in your own words. And after you answer the question, you can give your final thoughts on whatever it is that you want to leave the people with. Well, for you, Coach Nye, here's the question from the Louisiana Country Boy. Plain, simple, and to the point. Coach Nye, the question is this: what is your why?
My why? Did you say what is my why?
What is your why?
Okay. My why is, why do I do this, right? Why do I pour so much of myself into helping others? Well, the answer is easy, because it's my purpose. My purpose is to help others. That is my purpose. I stand in my purpose, and I teach others how to stand in their purpose and their power. So being a leader, that is why I do what I do, because God led me to do what I do. So that's my why.
Hey, there you go. Well, thank you. And if there's anything that you want to leave the people with, if Coach Nye has the words or a legacy that you want to leave behind, what is it? What does it look like for you?
Is to, as I always say, make sure you pour into yourself before you pour into others, and always reach back. And I just want to let you guys know, if no one told you today, I love you. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you so very much. And no, I know that you were like, "Ooh, I don't know what this is going to be about, law." But I'm so glad once more again that you accepted, that you came, that you shared, and know this. When I say this, is that for you, is that you always are welcome. You're always welcome here. If there's anything that God allows the old country boy to do, just always know you can count on me and the support that I have. I got a lot of support, but I'm just saying, whatever it is that I can do within my power, know that it's always there. And to each and every one of you, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for allowing us into your homes, into your tablets, into your jobs, into your phones, wherever you may be at. Thank you. Thank you. We greatly appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed and it does not go unappreciated. Thank you, Miss Julie. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Obi, for tuning in. Thank you, Minister Larry. Y'all know I'm bad about reading comments. I hope y'all know that. One of these days, I'm going to have my co-host somebody gonna be able to moderate and pop the comments up there. Y'all know I just bad about it, but y'all know at the same time, I love y'all and I appreciate y'all so very much. And these are the words that I will say to you is understand this. From the old country boy, God has given us three things. Three things, the old country boy says. You may ask, what are those three? He's given us purpose. He's given us vision and he's given us instructions. Yes, you can walk in purpose, but you will never fulfill the purpose that he has for you if you don't follow the instructions. Yes, yes, yes. That vision you have, it may be all that you want it to be, but it won't be all that it could be unless you follow the instructions.
Yes.
And understand this real clear when I tell you, speaking from experience, everybody's not going to like it. Everybody's not going to support it. There are going to be some people that will talk about you. They will tell you you're crazy for doing it. They will tell you you're too short, you're too tall, your hair too long, your hair too short, you're too dark, you're too bright, your nails too long, your nails too short. But let me tell you something, keep on walking. Keep on walking. If you want to write that book, write that book. If you want to sing that song, sing that song. If you want to open that nail salon, open that nail salon. If you want to open that car wash, open that car wash. If you want to be a teacher, teach. If you want to be a preacher, preach.
That's right.
Understand this. No, everybody's not going to agree. Everybody's not going to go along. There are going to be some people. Let me tell you about them people. This is what I discovered. Them people that try to talk you out of it and tell you this, that, and other about it. Let me tell you something about them. The thing is they see it and believe that you can accomplish it more than you do. That's why they're trying to talk you out of it. A lot of them are afraid that if you walk in your purpose, then you're going to walk away from them. That's the misconception that they have. They think that if you follow the vision that God has given you, you will no longer be in their sights. Get that vision, sight. But see, keep on walking. Keep on building, keep on going, keep on growing. Don't stop. And understand this. When I say this, is that I support you. I support you. I support whatever it is that God has given you to do. I support you. You say, well, why can you support? Let me tell you something. Is God gave you the vision. God gave you the purpose. Who am I to say that ain't for you? Why would I go against God who created all? If he gave you the vision, he gave you the purpose. I'll support you 100%. And lastly, but not leastly. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Look, on this one, this is my, look, I'm going to have to drink a sip of water on this one.
Uh-oh.
That's good water. If you woke up this morning and you open your eyes and you cleaned out your ears and you tried to hear, but the big country words just were not clear. And if you was out there today and you was rolling around, looking up and looking down, trying to hear the words, but you still didn't hear them clear. Well, here it is, 9/11. Houston time! On behalf of myself and my guest, the wonderful, amazing Coach Nye, I say these words. Is that I love you. I love you, and I love you unconditionally. And Coach, sometimes I have to explain the unconditional. Unconditional means this: if you support me, love you. If you don't support me, I still love you. If you talk about me, I still love you. If you try to stab me in the back, I still love you. Because here's the thing about my love for you. My love for you is not tied to you or your actions. It ain't tied to what you do or you don't do for me. That's not what my love is tied to. My love is tied to him, not to you.
That's right.
We love you unconditionally. And there ain't nothing, absolutely positively nothing that you can do about it. Coach Nye, thank you so very much to each and every one of y'all. Thank you so very much. It has been a privilege. It has been a pleasure. It has been wonderful. So you're always welcome back to the table.
Thank you.
With Old Country Boy. Hey, thank y'all very much. I will see y'all. If y'all get a chance, Old Country Boy has an interview tomorrow with Mr. Dante Powell on the block 105. So if y'all get a chance to tune in, 4 p.m., I will be on block 105 for the show. And then tomorrow, if y'all know, once more again, it's cruising time. It's cruising time tomorrow. Old Country Boy will be leaving, heading out tomorrow. Hey y'all, I went and bought me some of that seasick medicine too. So yeah, so I'm gonna be all up on the boat. I'm gonna be ready. I hope they got plenty of food because that's what I'm gonna be doing. If y'all stay tuned, because there will be some videos coming from the ship with me fishing. I'm gonna be fishing in international water, and what they gonna do? Kick me off the boat? They can't put me off because it's a boat. What they gonna do? They just wait till I get back to show. But yes, so I asked you for your prayers as we travel and make this this trip for the next 3, 4, 5. I don't know how long it's gonna be. But please send up your prayers. Some folks, you know, Coach, now I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna end. Some folks say, well, I don't want everybody praying for me. And guess what? I want everybody to shoot up a prayer. Because you know why? Why do you want everybody to pray for you? Because God said the prayers of the righteous availeth much. So if you praying for my downfall, I ain't even worried about your prayers making it through. He said the prayers of the righteous. So I want all y'all. I ain't trying to figure out who the righteous one is. I just want your prayers. So look here. Thank y'all so very much, Coach Nye. Coach Nye, thank you. Thank you for coming, and you're always welcome back. So until then, until we meet again, love y'all. We out.
Coach Nye out.